Good evening, everyone. This is Leonard Smith from Sense Memory, and tonight we're having a little experiment. For tonight's perfume review, I'm inventing a cocktail. It's of course a champagne cocktail because you know me, I love champagne. So first, as in a classic champagne cocktail, a little sugar cube, then a dash of Angostura bitters, just to taste up that sugar cube a little. There you go. And then we are going to have some Sky Infusion vanilla bean vodka, just a dash of that. This is taking the place of, say, for instance, bourbon. So there you go. And then finally we'll top it off with champagne. And there you go. Oh, that looks great. Look at that sugar cube spin. And the final little pièce de résistance are 2 cherries. So there we have this new drink, and I don't know what to call it. I think I'll call it a Lanier. So stay tuned for our next fragrance review, something very interesting from the House of BVLGARI. Cheers. Hey, that's not bad. Here we have it, the beautiful bottle of BVLGARI Black. Now this is a flanker of the original BVLGARI Man. And I did show this bottle to you before in an earlier, or actually my last video, my unboxing video. And we can look at it again. It's a gorgeous bottle. As I said before, this is a kind of brushed black glass. It has a kind of rose gold, it is rose gold, metal bar all the way around. The BVLGARI Man is of course written in rose gold, and this is black glass, shiny black glass, and these raised letters to spell the house's name, BVLGARI, feel like they're made of metal. So that's very interesting. If it is made of metal, it seemed to be placed into the glass, and I wonder how they did that. It's an amazing kind of engineering of a bottle. And there we have the top with BVLGARI written around the top, and a beautiful symbol there of, it looks like a sunrise, or no, it actually looks like a shell, a seashell. So you can see that right there. It's quite beautiful. And as I mentioned before, this has an on-off switch kind of cap. It's on right there. You can see the sprayer right there. And you just turn it this way and it's off, and that eliminates accidental sprays or evaporation. So let's get into a little bit about this. BVLGARI Man in Black was created in 2014, and the nose behind it is Alberto Morales. Alberto Morales has made many, many fragrances, some really famous ones too, including Acqua di Parma Colonia Intensa, Eternal Oud by Kilian, and CK1 by Calvin Klein. That's just the tip of the iceberg for this particular perfumer. It is considered an oriental floral, and its main accords are warm, spicy, woody, balsamic, leather, and rum. And boy, it has a beautiful note of rum in it. The top notes are tobacco, spices, and rum. The mid notes are leather, tuberose, iris. The bottom notes are tonka bean, gaiac wood, and benzoin. So I'm going to spray a little on right here. So let's make sure it's on. There you go. Now I have some on this arm, this wrist from earlier today, so I could get the dry down. But the thing about this fragrance that's really interesting is someone once said to me, "Oh, it's like Spice Bomb." And at first I'm like, no, absolutely not. I don't like Spice Bomb. It's way too sweet, way too too spicy and sweet for me, and it's just overwhelming. But the more I thought about it and the more I wore it, I began to see a similarity. But this to me is sophisticated, much more elegant in that vein that Spice Bomb is in it. That is that vein of a slightly, well, in Spice Bomb it's very sweet, but it's slightly sweet, but not at all touching on that sickening sweet carnival smell that I just can't stand. It opens with this incredibly beautiful tobacco, a lovely pipe tobacco. It's not a cherry kind of tobacco at all. And that rum mixes right in. So it's like a cocktail of tobacco and spices and rum. And it's quite, what's the word I'm looking for? It's an embracing fragrance. It's really, it's not for spring, though I'm wearing it on a very warm spring day, but it is more of a fall, wintry kind of fragrance, and it gives you this kind of warm embrace in the opening. Now, as it moves into the center, the center, the heart of the fragrance, here you have the leather rising up, and this is really a kind of fine, polished leather, kind of like Italian shoes, like Ferragamo shoes, a very supple leather. It's rich, extremely rich, and what I love about this is the addition of tuberose. Tuberose is hardly ever used in a men's fragrance. Tuberose can be quite overwhelming, but it's just a touch of tuberose that gives it a little sparkle of white floral rolling over the top of that leather. That really is, in my opinion, a really brilliant move by this perfumer, by Alberto Morales. Then there is the iris. The iris brings a kind of cool elegance into the warmth that's in the beginning. So it goes from warm to cooler. And then in the bottom, the dry down is where the sweetness comes up with that tonka bean, that vanilla. That's why I put vanilla in the cocktail. That vanilla flavored tonka bean. And the guaiac wood adds a woodiness that really brings a masculine side to this fragrance. The benzoin, of course, is aromatic and a little exotic. Benzoin is in that family of like myrrh and incenses. So this is an incredibly interesting and complex fragrance for me. It lasts on my skin about, I would say, 10 hours. It really is beautiful in its longevity. The projection is, I would say, about 18 inches for the first 2 or 3 hours, and then it moves in closer to about 6 or 7 inches for the rest of the life of the fragrance. It is an exceptional fragrance from the House of Bulgari, which of course is known for their jewelry. And you can see that they put as much attention to the jewelry-like aspect, the beauty of the bottle, and what's inside. This is really an exceptional fragrance from the House of Bulgari, so I'm very happy to have it in my collection. And if you're interested in a fragrance that's embracing, sophisticated, alluring, and very, very beautiful, I certainly recommend Bulgari Man in Black. It's a real winner in my book. So this is Lanier Smith from Sense Memory saying, remember, wear what you love and not what they say you should like.